Welcome to the midlife crisis. I got a question. Actually, I don't have a question. I have a statement. We need to bring bullying back. I said it, and I'll double down on it. Not only do we need to bring bullying back, we need to bring shame back. Why did I say something like that? Why did I say something so controversial? I'll tell you why. I just heard a story about a 27-year-old Latino individual who killed a woman because she rejected him. This woman, he was taken out, he met her online, took her out on shopping trips, bought her some things, propositioned her. She said no. She said no, probably in one of the nicest ways possible, that she doesn't have the mental capacity to handle a relationship right now. So this dude goes to whatever store that he goes to buy some gloves, a mask, some tape. Apparently he already had a gun, and decides to go to this girl's house and shoot him in the head. I have daughters. This story scares the shit out of me. So what does bullying and shame have to deal with this? I think a lot of these people have skipped past this part of their life. I got bullied when I was a kid. I got shamed for some things when I was a kid. And I know today it's not popular. I know today it's one of those things where, people think that it should be eradicated. It should be taken out of a child's, process of growing up. They should never have to experience such things. But I disagree. I disagree because it teaches you some things. It taught me some things. Instead of me crying and going home and saying, "Mommy, somebody picked on me," even though I did, you know what my mother did? She said, "Get back out there. Get back out there. If he's picking on you, you pick on him. If he hits you, you hit him back. Don't come back in his house if he beats your ass." That seems cruel. That seems like, oh my God, your mom was abusive. Nah, she wasn't. My mom was a mom. My mom was trying to raise somebody who was going to be strong. My mom was trying to raise somebody who could hear negative things. This is where the shame part comes in. Somebody who could hear negative things and not lose their shit. Somebody who can get picked on and not think that the world was over because one person or some individuals didn't like you. I was a nerd when I was growing up, and I'm still a nerd, and I'm proud of it. But I got picked on because of it. And you know what? It made me stronger. It made me one of those individuals that was like, you know what? Let me accept what I am. I am a nerd. I love learning. I love education. I was into martial arts my entire life. I didn't play basketball or football like everybody else wanted me to. And I'm stronger for it because I learned that there's actually more stuff out there than just what everybody is telling me that I should get into. Yeah, folks didn't like it. Of course they didn't like it. Yeah, folks weren't into it. Of course they weren't into it. But you know what? It didn't matter. It gave me the strength to be an individual so that I can be into it myself. When I got shamed for being a nerd, when I got picked on for being that, no, I didn't like it. But I had to learn how to deal with it. And that's what I think people are missing today because they never have to go through it. So when they encounter hardships, when they encounter some things that aren't necessarily all sunshine and rainbows, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to handle things like rejection. Come on, bro. You 27 years old and this 22-year-old chick turns you down. Guess what? There's a lot more 22-year-old chicks out there. And newsflash, there's some 23-year-olds, there's some 21-year-olds, there's some 24-year-olds. Hell, you had 27. You can go all the way up to your 30s. Some people might be interested in you. This was one girl that said no. And you had to kill her for it? This is the other reason why bullying comes in. People don't understand what pain is. And I know it sounds like I'm going off on a long tangent, but I'm not. It's really accurate. Killing somebody is too easy, especially nowadays, because you're not doing it with your bare hands. You're doing it with a weapon. You're doing it with a gun. So you stand on one side of the room, you squeeze the trigger, and a bullet travels from your weapon to that person, ends their life, and you don't have to understand it. You don't have to see it. And I know you're thinking that I'm crazy. How do you understand killing somebody? Why would you ever want to understand that? This guy's a monster. No. What I mean is, honestly, if you get punched in the face, hurts a lot more. You feel pain, you register it, you understand what that is. So much so that either you learn how to fight or you learn how to avoid fights because you don't want to feel that pain. But then you also understand that if I do this to somebody else, I'm causing them pain. See, you can't get shot and walk away from it. Most people can't. People ain't 50 Cent. That dude wants to think he's a Terminator. He gets shot 9 times. He starts a rap career. Wonderful. Everybody's not going to do that. You get popped 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make it. But what I'm saying about that is it's not something that you get hit with and you walk away from. For those that have gotten shot and were able to walk away from it or roll away from it, because it's not always a great story. You know, you get hit in the spine, you get hit in a bad spot or whatever, you might lose some abilities. But those people who come out on the other side of it, most of the time, they're not trying to put themselves back in situations where they want to get shot again. When you get your ass whooped one good time, most of the time, you're not going to put yourself back in a situation to get that ass whooping again. That's what I'm saying, that bullying needs to come back. We need kids to experience some hardships. We need people to experience some hardships, but I say kids specifically, and I have children and I am a parent, and I still say this. Why? Because if you can learn how to do it as a child, just like you learn a lot of other things as a child, you learn how to write as a child. What happens when you get older? You write a lot better. You learn how to read as a child. What happens when you get older? You learn how to read a lot better. We all started with Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham. Now we're reading Faust and the Iliad and the Odyssey. You know, your skills increase with time the more you practice them. So when you have hardship as a kid, when you go to a sporting competition and you lose and you don't get a trophy, it helps you. When you go and you pick with the wrong person and they beat your ass as a kid, it helps you. When you go to that prettiest girl in school and say, hey, can I, take you out for lunch? Or I don't know what you're doing in school. Can I play with your Legos? Can I give you some, something to buy, a coupon or something? Whatever kids do. And she says no, it helps you. Does it hurt in the moment? Fuck yeah, it hurts. But you learn how to deal with that pain. There's something that old people used to say a lot when fire was concerned. They tell you not to touch the fire, but some people got to get burned. And what happens? Yeah, it's terrible. You hope that the child doesn't get burned, bad or drastically or anything like that. But if they touch that iron or that stove in the wrong spot, and that hand gets hurt, guess what? 9 times out of 10, they're not going to touch that no more. They learn the hard way, but they learn. I think we need some people to just learn the hard way sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that. No, we can't control every environment. And yes, I hear the questions right now. What happens if something goes wrong? What happens if, you try to get your child to learn the hard way and they end up losing their life and stuff like that? Nobody wants that. And I'm not advocating for that. I'm not saying that I want that stuff to happen. But yeah, getting punched in the face, you can deal with that. Getting rejected by a girl, you can deal with that, because in the long run, if that happens when you're 7 years old, and I've got stories, oh my God, of people that rejected me and turned me down before I figured out the way that things work. Oh yeah, I've got stories. I've got stories all the way through my teens. But as an adult, you don't see me out here trying to kill somebody because they don't want to go on a date with me. If they say, I don't want to date you, you know what I say? Okay. I've been through a fucking divorce. Goddamn. If I'm not trying to raise arms against that individual, please, I can handle anything. And that's what I'm saying. We need to get some things back. You need to hear that your butt stinks. You need to hear that you're fat. You need to hear that you have some big feet. Because it might be true. And yeah, it may hurt your feelings, but guess what? It's going to make you stronger. Either, yeah, I got big feet and I love having them, so I'm going to keep going. Or, yeah, I don't want to be fat, so I'm going to work out. Or yeah, I love being fat, and I'm a represent for every fat person that's out here. Look at me, I'm beautiful, and I'm whatever. You have to gain this type of strength, this internal fortitude that you need in order to get through life, and stop thinking that everything is supposed to be tailor-made just for you. It's not your world. There's other people in this world. We all live in it, and we all have to figure out a way to interact with each other. And not everybody's gonna like you, and that's okay. That's okay. My goodness, we've got to put a better and a bigger value, a more important value on life nowadays. And that seems like that's gone. If it's not about money, if it's not about looking a certain way or acquiring certain symbols of wealth, you know, the best car, the best Jordans, the whatever, then it's like you're worth nothing. And people feel like that now. And they're acting like that because when a woman rejects a 27-year-old, he feels like the appropriate response is to kill her. Come on, bro. Go play some Grand Theft Auto. Go get you some Halo in. Go to the gym, hit a punch bag, something like that. You mad? Go do that with someone else. Why are you ending a life because she said no, bro? Hell, go get you some baby oil or something and do a ditty on yourself. Do something. Like, understand, that was a whole human life that you took because she turned you down. And first of all, you need to go talk to the people that raised you. Well, you can't now because you're going to be in jail, but you need to go talk to the people that raised you. Buying stuff for women is not the game. And yeah, call me old, call me whatever. But if you don't have enough common sense, enough intelligence, enough wit, enough humor, enough charisma to actually entertain a woman, buying them something that's just making you broke. And it's just giving them the idea that, yeah, all he wants to do is buy me something. Why wouldn't they take it from you? They don't owe you shit. They don't owe you shit. For all of the dudes out there that's thinking that, oh, I make a whole bunch of money, so I got bitches. No, you have a lot of money. They're with you for the money. It's not you, it's the cash. It's the broke nigga down the street that's still pulling all them women that you pulling that's got the game. You're missing something. And just because you bought them dinner, just because you bought them some shoes, just because you more than likely bought them some stuff that you can't really afford, they don't owe you anything. Women, understand that. And I'm talking to women right now too, because y'all be messing it up for each other. The ones that think, oh, well, he bought me this, I gotta give him something. No, girl, no. And I don't care how many dudes hate on me about this. No, she don't owe you nothing. Girl, stop giving it up. Make them give you something better. Like, all of this is prostitution. It's just disguised as something different. We got to get back to some old school values. And yeah, I said it. I'm going back to the bullying and the shame. You know, I'm not saying that somebody needs to be tormented for their whole life. I'm not trying to blow shit out of proportion. Yes, there are extreme forms of bullying that have very negative results. I'm not talking about those, okay? But learn how to handle that shit. You know, hey, somebody's bullying me. I need counseling. Maybe. Or maybe you need to just go and punch that dude in the face. Stop bullying me. Leave me the fuck alone. Become a comedian. Fry him. Roast him. Roast him. Make everybody in your class laugh. I bet that'll be the last time that person tries to bully you. And let's get back to actually doing something with our hands. Like, can we get back to that too, please? You know, why does everybody have a gun and such access to guns and ammunition that's the first thing that we think of? Stop. Chill out. It's okay. It's okay. You're going to hear some shit that you don't like in your life. You're going to have to figure out a way to deal with that. Shit, my God, do you have a job? You're going to hear that every goddamn day, especially if you work in some type of a service environment. You're going to need a lot of bullets. Working fast food, you're going to have to murder a whole line of people because all of them are going to piss you off. So, like, learn how to deal with this. Like, chill the fuck out.